And neck, yes.
Oh, I feel that.
And shoulder, yeah, I know. Snap, crackle, pop, you know,
Yep,
hey.
Yeah, at least it's still there and moving.
Yeah, that's right. It's still there and moving.
Okay.
So thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I'm glad to be back. Last weekend, I was in Montgomery, Alabama, so you know
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
we were singing this song for sure. All right, woke up this morning. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind. My mind it was stayed on freedom. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind it was stayed on justice. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind it was stayed on justice. Woke up this morning with my mind it was stayed on justice. Hallelujah. Talking. I'm gonna walk, yeah, walk, come on and walk with your mind on freedom. Walk, yeah, walk, come on and walk with your mind on freedom. Walk, yeah, walk. Now talk, I'm gonna talk, come on, talk, we gotta talk with your mind on freedom. Talk, yeah, talk, come on, talk with your mind on freedom. Talk, yeah, talk. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Stayed on freedom. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind it was stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind it was stayed on freedom. Hallelujah. In Ocean Park. Woo!
Yes, we welcome you to the church in Ocean Park. My name is Joseph MacDonald Hepburn. A long name, MacDonald from the Irish, Hepburn from the Irish, born in Caribbean, now living and enjoying church in Ocean Park in California, USA. So I welcome you to the church in Ocean Park. We are here to welcome you to this unique, multi-faith community that is dedicated to social justice. So you may be wondering if you are welcome as well. Well, if I was welcome, everybody else is welcome. We are in multi-faiths. You are welcome if you are Jewish, if you are Muslim, if you are Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, atheist. One patient at hospital told me that he was a religious atheist. Not sure what that is, but you're welcome anyhow. You're welcome if you just came in from a protest march. If you are not able to attend protest marches at this time or afraid to attend them because of the climate that we are in as well at this time, but you are welcome if you miss Pride Month activities, if you are participating in some that are online. You are welcome if you don't have a job. If you never had a job, or if you're in a job that you don't feel comfortable in, you're welcome here at the church in Ocean Park. You're welcome if you're a renter, a landlord, or landlady, or both. We extend a special invitation to those who are single, married, divorced, cisgender, rich or poor. We have an open door, an open heart. We extend a special invitation to those who are coming in from difficult times. We remember those who are in stress, who are sick, who are facing difficult situations, both medically and spiritually. We welcome you here to the church in Ocean Park. We extend a special invitation to those who are millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, and what is called the silent generation. But we are not silent here. We invite soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarians, junk food eaters. We invite those who are in recovery and still addicted. Oh, we can go on, and we can go on. But we invite all of you who are inked, pierced, or both. We invite you to recognize the significance of fellowship and love and community. We have it here. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park.
I'm Reverend Janet Gollery-McKithen. I'm the minister here. I'm very lucky to be here for 19 years. You can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is an amazing week. You all, yesterday was not only the culmination of the Jewish high holidays, but it was also the culmination of the last day of Durga Puja, which is a 10-day festival, Hindu festival in the Shaktism tradition of Hinduism. The festival marks the victory of the goddess Durga in her battle against shape-shifting demon Mahishasura. See, thus the festival epitomizes the victory of good over evil. We need this victory. We need that to have happen on November 5th. That's what I think. Let's transport that day to victory over evil on that day. Yes. It also celebrates the goddess as the motherly power behind all of life and creation. It's a way to bless and greet one another on this day, conveying good wishes for a successful and prosperous life. It's a time for people to visit each other in homes, exchange gifts, and seeking blessings from their elders. So this has been a very important time in the last 10 days for various religious traditions. And so you are here at a very sacred time. It's not only sacred for that reason, but it's also sacred because Stephen Longfellow Fiske is with us, which we'll introduce in just a moment. But we want to begin by acknowledging that we are on stolen land. In Santa Monica, the land was taken violently from the Chumash, the Quiche, and the Tongva peoples. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, forced assimilation, enslavement, and destruction at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We also acknowledge that our community and country was built on the backs of people who were stolen from Africa, placed into bondage, and forced into labor. We acknowledge that we benefit from that labor that has never been repaid. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to helping and healing by creating a more just and equitable world through the struggle of changing how we do things that we see as normal, but that are actually systemically hurting people. At the church in Ocean Park, we know that we all have biases, and it takes intentionality to build compassion for people whose lives are very different from our own. We seek to work together across boundaries to tear down unjust systems and build up places of community, of healing and love. This morning, you'll hear from a variety of people, and might be something that you disagree with, but know that your voice is just as important as whoever it is that just spoke. You are just as much, it doesn't matter if this is your first time walking into this room, you are just as much a part of the church in Ocean Park as I am or anybody else is. And your voice is just as important. Thank you for being a part of the community this morning and walking in the door. Thank you for helping break barriers and build more compassion in the world. Thank you for being a part of bending the arc toward justice. And we begin by centering ourselves each week with a chant by Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now 3 times. Let's take a deep breath. We've come from all over the place. You're running around. Who knows what you have on your mind? But we're going to get the most of that we can out of this morning by centering ourselves with the Thich Nhat Hanh chant. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. Somewhere back in the 1970s, this church looked a lot different. And I think there were pews in here maybe, and old other things that you couldn't move around very much. And they sent this guy here named Jim Kahn to the church, and he changed it a little bit. It used to be, it still is, I'm a Methodist minister. It's still hosted by the Methodist Church, but it is a multi-faith community dedicated to social justice, as Chaplain Joseph said. And at that time, I'm not sure how it happened, and I don't know if we need to get into it all, but one of the first people that helped him begin this new community was Stephen Longfellow Fiske. And Stephen is a musician, an author, a poet, artist, and a filmmaker, and an interfaith minister. In addition to singing his poetic and melodic songs, he's going to discuss the nature of what he calls the Predatorial Paradigm this morning. He's an old friend, long time ago friend, I mean, and music maker at the church in Ocean Park, as it was founding, as I just said, in its present form. We welcome Stephen Longfellow Fiske.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, it's good to see some old friends. And I had quite a history with this place. I came here in the mid-1970s, and I was teaching a yoga class in this room. And the class built up to quite a good size. We had 30, 40 people here every Wednesday night. And Jim Kahn was the minister. And Jim Kahn would be up there, and we connected. And he said, I'm wanting to start a church. He was a little reluctant to preaching at first. And I said, well, I'll support you. I'll give you some help. I can play some songs. And we got it going. We got it going. So it's great to be back here. And thank you all for being here today. So my wife and I now live in Virginia, in central Virginia. And we've moved to a place called Yogaville. Yoga has been a part of my life since I was a yoga teacher here at the church in Ocean Park. And so I was sitting on my porch. We live in the forest, in the woods, and the birds were singing, the morning sun was coming through the trees, and I wrote a song, which I'm about to sing for you. when that morning sun shines down and hits the ground, and that early bird sings out that melodious sound, and the cat comes in, meows, good morning, says get up and greet the dawning. It's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. Well, the kids get up and get on their way to school. If they learn one thing, I hope it's the golden rule. And to be thankful each and every day for the lessons learned along the way. And that it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. It is. In our hearts and in our love, there is a treasure that no instrument of science could ever measure. In laughter and in tears, in our journey through the years, that it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. And I'm thankful for each breath that I take in. I'm thankful for this heartbeat deep within. And when I look into your eyes, I can't help but realize that it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. By the way, that's a chorus. You can sing along. And I'm thankful for the teachers, saints, and sages who brought their wisdom to this world throughout the ages, who taught of peace and justice, love and kindness, and to look beyond the blindness, beyond the blindness, past the fear and war and hatred, right down to the sacred, right down to the heart and soul, where we know we're all God's children, born into this creation, and it was good, and it is still good, made whole, and that it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. Can you sing that? It's a blessing. Oh, it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. Now I'd like to invite you to stand up and find somebody nearby and reach out to them and sing to your friend, your soulmate, your angel, that it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. Find somebody else, another person. Move around a little bit. It's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. One more time. Oh, it's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. Oh, let's do it one more time. This feels good. It's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. There's still hugging going on. We're still feeling the blessing. What is a blessing? What is a blessing? I think it's the goodness. How do you feel?
Great.
That's a blessing. You feel great? How do you feel? You feel blessed. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to start out by telling you two stories. The first story, two short stories. The first story is two kids in a sandbox in the park playing. And one's a little girl. She may be 3.5 years old. She's got a really cool Tonka truck. And, you know, one of those yellow metallic Tonka trucks. And it's a dump truck. And she's just having a good time. And there's a little boy in the sandbox. And he's got a shovel and a pail. But he's looking at that Tonka truck. And he's thinking, oh, man, that looks good to me. So he comes over, and he's older, and he's a little bigger, and he's a little assertive, and he starts taking over. And the little girl begins to object, and she begins to cry. And now the mothers are sitting nearby on a bench, and they've been talking, and they see what's going on. So mom comes over and says, stop the bullying, stop the fighting, don't put dirt in your mouth. Learn to share and be nice. Remember that. That's the mama's advice. That's the mother's advice. Stop the bullying, stop the fighting, don't put dirt in your mouth. Learn to share and be nice. Simple, right? The mother's advice. Okay, second story takes place in Jerusalem, towards the early days of the founding of Israel. And an older man, a father and his son, go to the Western Wall to pray. And this becomes something that they do every day. They go to the Western Wall and they pray. The Western Wall is that facade of huge stones that supports what the Jews call the Temple Mount, but which the Muslims, where they have the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And it's a holy place. And Jesus was crucified not far away from there. So this whole area of Jerusalem is a most holy place. So the father dies eventually, but the son keeps going to the wall and keeps praying at the wall. And now he's in his 80s, right? But he's still going to the wall every day and praying. And one day a woman sees him and says, kind sir, I see you going to the wall every day. What do you pray for? He says, I pray for peace. And she says, oh, well, how does that make you feel? And he says, it feels like I'm talking to a wall. Feels like and that's the issue that we're facing today. It feels like those who work for peace and justice, who care about the condition and the injustices in this world, like we're talking to a wall. It doesn't seem to go somewhere. But if you look at the progress we've made, there's a lot of progress we've made. I played basketball when I was a kid, and later on I went to New York University on an athletic scholarship for basketball. And when I was at NYU, we had an integrated team. But when we played the schools from the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tulane, Georgetown, they weren't integrated. There wasn't a black, this was 1966, 67. Not a black on the team. But today, look what's happened. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. So what is the nature of that wall? What is the nature of the wall that prevents us from getting past the blind spot, past the blindness? And as a student, with the Reverend James Lawson. Some of you may know Jim Lawson. He's passed away just earlier this year. But Jim was a great mentor for me. And I attended numerous workshops and was on the board of the Interfaith Communities United for Justice and Peace, which is an organization that he founded. And in his talks, he enumerated 4 diseases, you could call it, or the illnesses that prevent us from achieving justice and achieving peace in the world. And one is racism, classism, sexism, and militarism. And I would add to that environmental destructionism, if there's such a term, and predatory capitalism. Predatory capitalism. And all those things could be grouped under the title of predatorialism, another ism, predatorialism. And where does predatorialism come from? Well, in racism, it's one group thinking that we are superior to another group, stigmatizing, marginalizing, degrading, and oppressing another group because of their color of their skin, or their nationality, or their belief system. In classism, it's, again, a group thinking that they're superior, that they have a privilege, that they have the right to have more than somebody else, and that somebody else who has less is less because of that. That 1% owns 90% of the wealth in this country. I mean, the wealth gap is huge and continuing to grow. So anyway, I could go through the list. I don't want to take up all of these things, but you can see how it's all comes from a sense of being predators to each other and predators to our planet. Predators to our planet. How do we overcome that predatorialism? And where did it begin? You know, to understand where it begins, we have to look at what the predator in the wild does. Predator, like a lion, a tiger, and a wolf, they have fangs. They have claws. They have 4 legs. They target their prey. They chase it down. They pounce on it. They kill it, and they devour it. That's what a predator does. That's what a predator does in the wild. When human beings in the primal stages of our development as a species, we were surrounded by the wild. And so as a coping mechanism, to survive, for safety, we had to become predators. We had to hunt. We had to become predators. And in the wild, the law of the jungle is hunt or be hunted, kill or be killed, or, as Darwin would say, survival of the fittest. But survival of the fittest doesn't mean the biggest, strongest, fastest, most toughest part of the group. It means the one most able to adapt to a changing environment, to a changing habitat. And those that don't adapt to a changing habitat face extinction unless you make the change. And we're at that point as a human species right now and right here today. We see the rain bombs. We see the hurricanes. We see the fires on every continent destroying the plants and the trees, our lungs of the earth being destroyed. And who's responsible for that? We're the polluters. Since the Industrial Revolution, human beings have been excessively predatory towards our beautiful planet that sustains and gives us life and gives us breath. So how do we overcome this predatorialism? One way is to be a vegetarian. It's a simple thing to say, well, but, there's a lot of people who believe you are what you eat. if you eat the creatures that we kill, I don't know how many of you have ever been to a factory farming place where they destroy and kill animals. If you've ever been to such a place, you will never eat meat again. Because you can see the animals enter with such fear. And that fear just is emoted in their hormones and in their systems, and we eat that. We're eating the genocide of our fellow creatures on this planet. And we're taking down the rainforests to make more land for grazing, for cattle, that feed a few of us on this planet at a high expense. Predatory. This is predatorial. It's crazy. I've been a vegetarian since 1970. I eat no red meat, I eat no chicken and no fish. Not quite vegan, although on the scale towards veganism, I'm up there around 85, 90%. I still, eat a little ice cream every now and then. I receive applause for eating ice cream. So how do we overcome this predatorialism? One way is to become a vegetarian. It really changes. I became a conscientious objector during the Vietnam War. I thought that war was immoral. I don't know why we were napalming and bombing these poor people in Vietnam. I didn't understand it. And so I went to the American Friends Service Committee, which is a Quaker organization that was helping young men who were facing the draft what to do. And it was there that I began to study in depth what Gandhi called satyagraha. Satyagraha. Sat means truth. Graha is power. Truth power or soul power. And satyagraha, which was the basis of Martin Luther King's tactics for social change, is based on what we know as ahimsa, A-H-I-M-S-A. And ahimsa means doing no harm to any living thing. Doing no harm and respecting the value of all life. Respecting the value of all life and doing no harm to any living thing. And I would enlarge that to include our environment, because this earth is a living thing. This earth is, as the indigenous people would say, our mother. And we're pillaging and raping our own mother. So this has got to stop. So in the yoga trainings that I've been a part of, I was talking about, I taught a yoga class here in the 1970s. In the yoga training, they teach us to serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, do good, be kind, and be compassionate. Serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, do good, be kind, and be compassionate. Easy to say, harder to do, harder to live. Serve, to serve, we are served. We're given this body. We're given this breath. We're given this heartbeat. We're given this consciousness. It's a blessing. We're like scholarship students. We've been given the scholarship of life. And we've been given the curriculum of trial and error. A lot of trial and a lot of error. I just was singing at Yom Kippur services. And at Yom Kippur services, it's the time of atonement. And that you may be following a script in your life or a blueprint in your life, and you may have misstepped. You may have made mistakes. You may have gone wrong. You may have treated somebody in a harmful way, including yourself. But you're not bound by that script. You can write a new script. Humanity must write a new script for ourselves. And I believe that that script has got to be based in the principles of nonviolence. And Jim Lawson kept saying again and again and again, he said, what we need is a revolution of nonviolence on this planet. We don't see it because we don't understand the precepts of nonviolence. So I want to just take a minute to go over them quickly. This subject of nonviolence deserves a whole course. But it begins with the understanding that the universe is a unity which encompasses a rich diversity, in which there is nothing so great or so small that it does not in some way interact with itself. We're all interconnected. We're all one. That's the fundamental understanding, because if we really knew that, we would never do anything to harm each other or to harm this world. In conflict management or conflict resolution, there are methods that we learn to listen clearly to each other. When we truly hear each other without preparing our response, while someone else is talking at us, we're already preparing what we're going to answer them with. Before we get to that, allow yourself to be fully in the other person's eyes, or to walk in their shoes, as they say, to fully listen to somebody else. And when they know they have been listened to, then they can respond to you in a way that you feel acknowledged and they feel acknowledged. This is the key to understanding each other, to communicating. To make decisions, each decision is a thread in the tapestry of our lives. And when we make decisions, do we make decisions for the short-term gain, or do we make decisions for the long-term good of the whole? The indigenous people say, make decisions for the 7th generation, to last, to endure for the 7th generation. So when we make decisions not just to satisfy the need of this moment or the ego gratification, but make decisions that are going to be decisions that will be of service for the long-term good of the whole. This is nonviolence. And to do something that is of no harm, that does no harm, every choice you make, say to yourself, am I doing harm by making this choice? And to stand in that truth, to stand in that love. It's really love. Another basis of nonviolence is the understanding that we're children born in love. We're here to love. We're not here to kill. We're not here to destroy. We're not here to hurt each other. We're here to love, to open our hearts and to love. We're here to use our spirit and our soul to speak truth to power, to stand in the truth where there is an injustice, to call it out, but not just to oppose, but to work for solution. If you're going to protest, that's good, but make sure that your protest is going somewhere towards a solution, that you have a solution in mind. Another aspect of nonviolence is reaching for, very important, gender equity. Gender equity. For centuries and centuries and centuries, we've lived under patriarchal dominance. For centuries. I mean, just think of it, from Pharaoh to the Greeks, to Alexander the Great, to the Romans, to Caesar, on and on and on, up through today to Americans, imperialist empire building, Putin attacking Ukraine, the Israelis bombarding and creating genocide. It's all predatorial. It's all insanity. It's all insanity. We've got to get past this. And we need to work towards being stewards of the earth, caring for this planet, caring for each other at the same time. We're in a crisis right now, an existential crisis, where we must make revolutionary change. When I say revolutionary, I'm not talking about a revolution on the battlefield with guns firing. I'm talking about the revolution of the heart, the revolution of consciousness, where we see there's a better way than war and violence. There's a better way than the predatorial conquest and domination of others. There's a better way. Remember the mother. She said to the children, stop the bullying, stop the fighting, don't put dirt in your mouth, which means use your language wisely. Use your language respectfully. Speak clearly. Speak honestly. Speak from your heart. Speak from your soul. And don't be afraid to speak from your heart and from your soul. And speak that truth to whatever injustice you see and move towards solution. And use your power. Use your power. Each and every one in this room is a powerful individual. You may not think so, but I know. You and I and everyone born into this world has an immense power. The divine power is moving through us in every heartbeat and every breath. And you know what it's saying to us? It's saying, grow. It's saying, grow, learn, blossom, be full, fulfill your dreams, fulfill your heart, fulfill your goals. You're here to do that, just like a seed that lands in the soil is here to grow into its flower. We're here to flower. We're here to blossom. And we all have that ability. We can all do that. We're all born into the garden of life. And the garden of life has all kinds of flowers. There's weeds, and there's tall trees, and there's all kinds of flowers, and a myriad of all kinds of plants. It's the great diversity. It's the richness of the diversity. And we're growing through it and in it and of it. And it is, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it great? Isn't it a blessing? It's a blessing, such a blessing to be here with you. So I got another song for you. Usually I do a lot of concerts. So usually I'm doing more singing than talking. But this morning I'm talking at you, and I'm enjoying that, and I hope you're finding it good. But now I'm going to sing. And this is the song that I wrote for the children in the sandbox. We're all the children in the sandbox. I wrote it as a children's song. But I found that as adults, we're all got a lot of child. We're all still children. So, it's called Go For It. Be here? Okay. Thank you. I got cued. Now, this song tells a story about a potato, a tomato, a cat, a bird, and a worm. And you can relate to any of these characters. Well, a hot potato and a ripe tomato once met in a sunny lot. The tomato was ripe, but she kept her cool while the potato kept getting hot. But then with a squirm along come a worm with a ravishing appetite. Saw the potato and the ripe tomato and wondered which one to bite. He said, go for it. Give it everything you got. You gotta go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Oh, give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. Now along came a bird flying by when the worm was about to munch. The squirm of the worm caught its eye, and the bird come down for lunch. Oh, but now there sat a hungry cat by the edge of the sunny lot. Meow. And just when the bird was about to land, the cat pounced into the plot, and everybody sang, go for it. You can sing, it's a chorus. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Oh, give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. Now the cat missed the bird, and the bird missed the worm, and the worm never took its bite, which left the potato and the ripe tomato alone again after the fight. Said potato, there's a moral, my sweet, let's not let it pass us by. Whatever you choose, win or lose, give it your best try. And sing, yeah, you got it. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Oh, give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. Now if the world's got you down, you're wearing a frown, and nothing is going right. The sun won't come out, you're clouded with doubt, you cannot see the light. It's when the going gets tough that your love gets going. Hang in there when your heart is hit. It's never too late to keep the faith. Hold onto your dream and don't. Thank you. Sometimes I forget the words. And sing, go for it. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Oh, give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. Now I would bet, if I were a betting man, which I sometimes am, that there's some of you in this very room, this very morning, at the church in Ocean Park, who got a dream you're going for, something you're going for, and maybe you'd like to stand up and tell us about it. And then, when you stand up and tell us about it, we will acknowledge, affirm, and empower you by singing a powerful chorus of the Go For It song. So, is there someone who'd like to stand up and testify what it is you're going for? No? Yes, the lady in the front row. Stand up, please, and what is your name? Plain Jane.
I'm actually on the ballot where I live in Joshua Tree. For re-election to the water district director. And I did want to be on the same ballot as Trump, but I'm going for it.
All right. Wait. Don't stand back up. Are you ready to receive us singing? Are we ready to support her? Are we ready to support her? Thank you. Don't speak out. Sing out. 2, 3, and go for it. Give it everything you got. Oh, you gotta go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. And a round of applause for Jane. How do you feel?
Going for it.
All right. Is there someone else in this room who'd like to stand up and tell us what it is you're going for? Oh, there's a little hand from the back. The lady back there, she's just, softly raising her head. Yes, what is your name? Please tell us. Okay. It's not on.
It's on. Okay. Okay. My name is Nalini, also known as Christine Green, and I'm telling you, for the past year, things in the house have just been breaking. The TV broke, my Dyson broke, the computer broke. After the last earthquake, now the front door is wonky, and I can't even close it, or I can only lock one lock. And so I need to go for just getting this stuff fixed somehow. It's just one thing after another. I just want things to not break anymore. And so
Change for the good.
Yes, yes,
right.
I just would like things to work. Even the worst one was the hot water handle in the kitchen sink broke. I mean, I was just thinking how great it was that we had we're not in a third world country, we have hot water coming in. Okay, the next day, it broke. So, I don't know. I need some good vibes for that
All
house.
right, we're going to give you some good, empowering support. Are you ready to support Nalini?
Yes.
Yes. Here we go. 2, 3, and go for it. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go for it. Oh, give it everything you got. Oh, you may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. And a round of applause. Support that young lady. Yeah. Is there someone else in the room who'd like to make a statement? A declarative testimony. Right here.
right.
Yes, what is your name?
This is really for Bonnie. My name's Daria, and I guess I'm trying to continue writing my blogs on Medium. It's been I don't know.
Okay, so you want support for writing your blog?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. Shall we support?
Yes.
Are you ready to receive? Keep standing. Here we go. Go for it. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Come on and go. Go for it. Go for it. Give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. A round of applause for Mario. Yeah. Is there someone else in the room who would like to?
Bonnie does.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Stephen, good to see you.
Good to see you, Bonnie.
And Nikki.
Please tell
Yes.
everyone your name. Tell everyone your name.
Hi, Bonnie here. No. A work in process to not worry so much, to trust and take the path of trust and knowing things are working out, will work out. Also, a second request is a lot of loved ones in crisis, facing death, some real challenges, and my prayers to be of support without being an interference, but truly being of loving support. whether in person or distance.
We love you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
We love you, Bonnie. Oh, yes, we do. We love you, Bonnie. It's very true. Shall we sing to her? Go for it. 2, 3, and go for it. Give it everything you got. Come on and go for it. Give it your best shot. Don't worry. Go for it. Yeah. Give it everything you got. You may not think that you get too much, but you just might get a lot. And a round of applause. All right. And that's what we need. We need the little go for it energy to push us forward and out there and speak the truth to the power, do what's right, do what's just, do what's fair, do what's for the betterment of us individually and collectively. What we do individually, we also do collectively. Thank you all very much. We're going to have a dialogue now.
All right, we have time for a couple more. We normally have community sharing where people can make a brief statement or ask Stephen a question. We have a couple of moments for that as well. We've been already sharing a little bit, but if you have something you'd like to say, yeah.
Thank you. I need to go back outside and help with childcare, and I am always torn when I decide to do that because I miss something really special. But I had to respond to what I heard Pastor Janet say this morning. And I do not think that good versus evil is on the ballot on November 5th. I realize we'll have our own opinions about that. I would just like to say that I do not, and I know that probably most of the people in this room think that fully funding a genocidal attack on the Palestinian people is a lesser evil than a racist, fascist opponent. But I just want to say that I do not think that good versus evil is on the ballot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're both terrible. Terrible people. Blood on their hands.
I want to more or less ask for you to expound on something about vegetarianism, spirituality, and what has, I guess you could say, evolved into what I think we see as the doctrine of religion. And I say that in respect to the three major faiths all have a way of slaughtering an animal. You know, I mean, Judaism, you don't eat a chicken unless it's kosher. In Islam, you know, it has to be halal, quote unquote, organic. And, you know, one of the troubling things is that in the Bible, in very early on, it says you don't eat of anything unless it has a seed, a tree that bears a seed in fruit. Now that got changed later, and so I'm wondering specifically is what we've evolved into in terms of eating flesh makes us unconscious and more or less more susceptible to aggression and violence. And if so, would you say that having a diet based on plant could more or less lead directly to a more peaceful coexistence?
I do.
Hi. Your name? Oh, Fran. I was with Satchidananda for many years when he was alive in New York City. I went to the yoga ashram. Well, it wasn't an ashram. On 13th Street.
Yeah.
Is it? So I was just wondering if you can shortly give us a feedback on what's going on in Yogaville in today's world.
Well, there's been a controversy, allegations that Swami Satchidananda, was involved sexually with some of his disciples. And that has caused a disturbance in the force, shall we say. However, my personal opinion is it's not about the man, it's about the teachings. That if a teacher strays or betrays his vows or leaves the teachings, it doesn't devalue the teachings. It may devalue the person in someone's judgment, but for me, the teachings are what's most important. I try to live by the teachings. And the teachings are basically, at Yogaville, truth is one, paths are many. Oh yes, Yogaville is definitely, Satchidananda Ashram, Yogaville is still his place. No, we have our own property. The ashram has its own property on which staff and the monks and other folks rent from the ashram. When you live on ashram property, you're bound to observe the ashram rules. When you live off the property, if you own property or rent off the ashram, you do what you want.
All right.
But you try to observe and be, to serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize, do good, be kind, and be compassionate. And all the people there are loving and kind and good people, beautiful people. Well, on the ashram...
I think yeah. Okay, last one. Okay.
On the property itself, there may be right now 70, 75 people or so, including the monks. There's a dozen or so monks who live there. There may be more. I don't know the exact number. But surrounding, in the immediate area, there's probably another 100, 150 people. And then you've got Richmond, you've got Charlottesville, you've got all kinds of places nearby, Scottsville, Dillwyn, where other folks live who aren't immediately in the ashram vicinity, but close enough.
Anyway, we thank you so much for being with us this morning, and I know there's many more questions that we have for him, but I'm hoping he can stay around. And also, he has a table back there with, do you want to say what's on that table?
I have, believe it or not, I have some CDs. I know most people don't play CDs anymore, but I have a Prius, which has a CD player in it, and I really enjoy listening to lectures and music on the CD player. I have a poster. This is something I did a few years ago, which is quite a number of years ago. These are words written scanned to the melody of the Star-Spangled Banner, transforming the song from a song of war and bombs bursting in air to a song of earth stewardship and love.
Great.
And I have I have a book called The Art of Peace, which is all about principles of living a peaceful existence, individually and collectively. And I have some other posters. So.
We thank you so much for being with us, Stephen Longfellow Fiske. Thank you. And we're going to have a moment of silence. I hope you stick around and then look at the table and talk with Stephen afterwards. And we have a moment of silence, and it'll be broken with a song by Dr. Kim.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of war, a time of peace, a time of love, a time of hate. A time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven.
Good morning. Son, there. It's nice to see some different faces here today. So I usually have this little morning ask to help contribute to the church, but it's great to see some different people here. I'm Craig Hamilton. I actually am, for all of you, the chair of the financial committee. And anything you can do to support. This is sort of traditional here. There's a bucket for coins and a basket for folding money or checks, but also at the back at the table, if you're interested in donating online, we can support that as well. So thank you for whatever you do. It really does help continue the programs and the mission of the church. Thank you.
And while he's doing that, we're going to start with our...
Okay, so the bread is already cut in half, and the bottom half, it was sandwich bread, but I took out the meat out of it. So today, Monday coming. Now I'm from the Caribbean, and I'm born in Trinidad. And growing up in the 60s and the 70s, we had a great respect for Columbus, Christopher Columbus. I know, Craig, I'm going to continue. We had a great respect for Christopher Columbus. And I remember in those days, I remember at school singing a lot of hymns, recognizing the fact that Columbus sailed the ocean blue October 12, 1492. And at school, primary school, as a student, we would go across on the next day, school day, we would go across to the Episcopalian church just across the road. And the whole school would go across to the church building, and we would sing. And I love those times when we used to sing. It was from that singing I learned, I became involved in the choir, and then I sang in university choir, church choir. It is from that, is listening to the whole school singing did something to encourage me to keep on singing in some way. So that was important for us at the time. But we know that in the 80s, 90s, 2000, we know that Christopher Columbus, his presence opened the door to European exploration as well as European colonization and all that came after that. So we acknowledge that. What I wanted to say really is that when we were singing and recognizing the valor and the discovery of Columbus and his imaginative journey and all of that, we were happy singing in those days. Now that we know something more about Columbus, and we have moved from that now to Indigenous Peoples Day, which is something quite different. But I just wanted to say that in life, we have to unlearn certain things. And unlearning is just as good as learning. I was able to sing and rejoice in that atmosphere of not knowing. But once we had to unlearn that and look to something new, something more progressive, something more meaningful, I can still sing in this climate as well. So we have to unlearn and learn as we go forward in life. I see Craig smiling a lot there. Thank you so much.
You're worried.
All right, so very simple closing song. We've sung this before. Peace, salam, shalom. 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 One more time. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom.
And our blessing is that we go in peace to create peace in the world. But we say together, carry on, we lift our arms together up, and then I'll say, and the people on Zoom can unmute chaotically, and we're going to say together, carry on. 1, 2, 3, carry on!
And thank you, Stephen, for bringing us together.
Thank you to Stephen Longfellow Fiske.